Feather Woman and the Morning Star, a North American Indian tale. One night in the moon of flowers, the time when the wild rose blooms and the grass is full upon the plains, a girl called Feather Woman took her blanket and slept outside her teepee with her younger sister. Just before dawn, Feather Woman woke and saw the morning star rising in the east. The star was so glorious that she could not take her eyes off it. "Wake up and look over at the morning star," Feather Woman called after her sister. "How I do love that star. It is the brightest and most beautiful of all." Her sister laughed and, teasing her, said, "So, you would like to marry a star?" "It is true," Feather Woman answered quietly. "I would marry the morning star." A few days later, Feather Woman was on her way to the river for water when she met a stranger on the trail. He was tall, erect, and even more handsome than any man she had ever seen before. His clothes were of soft tan skin that smelled of pine and sweet grass. He had a yellow feather in his hair, and in his hand he carried a juniper branch with a spider's web hanging from it. "I am the morning star," he said. "One night I saw you lying in the long grass and heard your words of love. Now I invite you to come to the above world and live there with me." Feather Woman trembled as she listened to his words. "First, let me go to my mother and father and say goodbye," she said. "Then I will come with you." The morning star answered, "You must come with me now or not at all." He took the yellow feather and fastened it in her hair. Then he offered her the juniper branch and said, "Take this and close your eyes. The spider ladder will carry you to my home." So Feather Woman took the juniper branch in her hands and closed her eyes. When she opened them again, she was in the sky, standing before a great teepee. "Welcome to my home," said the morning star. "This is the teepee of my father, the sun, and of my mother, the moon." Now at the time the sun was away on his travels, but the kindly moon was there. She welcomed her son's new bride and offered her food and drink. Then she gave her a soft tan buckskin dress, a bracelet of elk teeth, and elk skin of robe decorated with secret paintings. The days passed, and Feather Woman was happy in the above world. The moon showed her all the flowers and vegetables and berries that grew there in abundance, and taught her about herbs and secret medicines. She also gave her a digging stick made of wood that had been hardened in fire, and showed her how to use the stick to dig up the many wild roots that were good to eat. But the moon warned Feather Woman that there was one plant that she must never dig up. This was the giant turnip, which grew near the teepee of the Spider-Man, who wove the ladders by which the star people traveled between the earth and sky. Many times the moon told Feather Woman, "The giant turnip is sacred. If you touch it, you will bring unhappiness to us all." Time passed. Morning Star and Feather Woman had a baby son whom she called Star Boy. It seemed then that their happiness was complete. But one day, when Feather Woman was out collecting wild vegetables with her digging stick, she happened to pass the giant turnip. She said to herself, "I wonder what lies beneath the giant turnip." Feather Woman walked all around it, and then she bent down and examined it more closely. She laid the baby on the ground and began to dig. She dug and she dug, but the turnip would not move. She dug some more, and finally the digging stick stuck fast underneath the turnip. Feather Woman looked up, and she saw two cranes flying overhead. She called to them, "Come, mighty cranes, come and help me move this giant turnip." The cranes circled around her 3 times and then landed. They took hold of the turnip top and with their sharp beaks rocked it to and fro. They then sang a magic song and rocked it again until it rolled out of the ground, leaving a giant hole where it had been growing. Feather Woman knelt down and looked into the hole. To her surprise, she saw the camp of the Blackfeet Indians where she once lived. Smoke was rising from her parents' teepee. Children were laughing. Young men were playing games. The women were working, tanning hides, building teepees, gathering berries on the hillsides, and carrying water from the river. Watching all this, Feather Woman longed to be back again upon the high plains with her own people. Slowly she got to her feet. She picked up Star Boy and held him close. When she turned to go home, there were tears in her eyes. As soon as Morning Star saw his wife, he knew what she had done. "You have dug up the giant turnip," he said. That was all, nothing more. When the moon heard what had happened, she was sad, but the sun was very angry. He said, Feather Woman has disobeyed our command, and now she must return to earth. She has gazed upon her own people and can no longer be happy with us. So Morning Star took his wife and his baby son to the teepee of the Spider Man and asked him to weave a ladder that would let them travel down to earth. Then he placed a digging stick in Feather Woman's hand, and he wrapped her and Starboy in an elkskin robe. Close your eyes, he said, and now farewell. When Feather Woman and her son arrived back on earth, it was an evening in the time when the berries are ripe. The Blackfeet Indians on the high plains looked up and saw a bright falling star. They ran to the place where he landed and found a strange bundle. When they opened it, there was Feather Woman with her baby. They recognized her as the girl who many moons ago had gone to collect water but had not returned. From that time, Feather Woman lived once again in her parents' teepee, and she shared with the Blackfeet Indians all the knowledge she had brought from the above world. She taught them the secrets of the medicine plant. She showed them how to make and use a digging stick and how to recognize wild potato, the wild turnip, the wild onion, and other plants good to eat. But Feather Woman never forgot the above world. On clear days when the sun shone, she would climb to the top of a high ridge and look up into the sky and think of her husband, the great and glorious Morning Star. The end.